Так, начать.
Ой, блядь. Я одну бутылку выпил йогурта, блядь, теперь еще одну охоту, блядь.
Зашибись. А я бутылку колы выпил.
Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write
Ты
here.
можешь Discord скинуть? А, хотя ладно.
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
Ты уже начал что-то стрим?
Да.
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake.
В принципе, ты меня мог не кидать.
Ну да.
У меня это всегда отмечено внизу, в подписках.
Зашибись.
Там показывается, кто стрим, типа, кто нет.
Да, я знаю.
Ебать, же 3 лайка кто-то поставил.
Не знаю. Я не лайкал ничего.
Ну, я 1 лайк поставил, сейчас 4 лайка.
Зашибись.
Ну, ДР, блядь.
Да. Скинь мне 2500 ДР.
Honey,
Какой
I'm
такой?
home.
О, кофеек.
How was
Даже
it?
кофеек.
Worst weather I've ever seen.
Да, я только
You should
пиздел,
put some
я заберу
coffee
кофе и
on.
уйду.
It'll warm
Вроде
you up.
трек, да.
Hey, handsome.
А, это целых 5
This
дней.
is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
Так, сколько у нас здесь этих? Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь, девять, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, читай, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 страницы в этом эпизоде.
Need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Ебать.
Вот первый, насколько я знаю, да. Насколько я помню, точнее. Две даже сразу.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my
Там нормальная
revenge,
громкость на стриме?
it had finally caught up with me.
Да.
It had been a long...
Просто, типа, ну, у меня громкость, я же наушниками себе настраиваю. Ой. Так, включи кофеварку.
О, батя.
Я только что взял термос кофе, мне говорят, включи кофеварку.
Логика.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Зашибись, там метелит. Идите, Кейлис.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform.
Тебе
all
показалось,
sorts of
что Николас
miracles, my
собирает.
dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seem to think so last night.
Дайте мне 2. Изучить макет обложек.
Да, на СС.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen
Там
over my dead
какая-то
body.
дверка интересная.
The last
Не знаю,
time was
откроется
the
она или нет,
last
никогда не
time.
пробовал.
Блядь, иди рисуй пока на хорошем цвете.
Минус свет.
Alan?
О, бегать.
Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey. Honey, it's a power outage.
Алан, ты где,
I've
блядь?
got
Я думал,
the
сейчас
flashlight.
скажешь.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story,
Ух ты.
writer.
Okay.
Шутка про прессы, мне
I
кажется, уже
used
не
to
шутка.
have these nightmares when I was a kid.
Ты
The
просил,
dark
я
really
сделал.
spooked me too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
Ебать, съебал.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got
Щелкунчик, это
scared
не
of the
шутка.
dark, I could
Типа
just
здесь
flip
какой-то
the
рассказ,
switch and
но
the
реально
magic light would
есть в
scare
этой
the
игре.
monsters away.
Oh,
Знаешь, что он себе
sure.
представляет?
Here it
Помнишь,
is.
раньше лампы такие старые
Alan.
были, у них
Maybe it'll help
переключатель
you
на
too.
проводе был, да?
Yeah, nice
Вот,
story,
Да.
вот
writer
показывает,
boy.
вот он.
You made that up right now, didn't you?
No, no. Seriously.
Я
I
думал,
love
не покажут.
you,
Я вот
even
тут в
if
конце
you are
игры
a
его
liar.
покажут. Ну вот он,
Thanks for
короче.
this.
Это щелкунчик. Он типа побеждает тьму. Так вот, один вопрос. Он его носит с собой, но он его не использует.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd
Да я
seen
все
me
пропустил,
request every
фак.
tests. I couldn't
А,
leave
ну я
without
же подать
Alice.
могу, в принципе.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock.
5 лайков уже
You should
писал.
take it easy for a couple of days.
Ну,
Быстро.
Ну, Дима, наверное, зашел.
Учитывая
Или
то, что у тебя всего 10
Well, then, Mr.
подписчиков.
Wake, we're done
Ну, там
here.
эти же все
If the
подписчики
pain
Димы.
gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then.
Так,
Sarah,
я не помню, здесь, по-моему,
Sheriff
тоже что-то есть,
Breaker is
если я не
waiting for
ошибаюсь.
you. She's very good at her job. I'm
Он
sure
зашибись
she'll
комп, кстати.
locate your wife
Я
in no time.
примерно так, да, твой ноут выглядит?
Погоди.
Так, смотри. Что смотреть можно было?
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty.
Где ноут мой?
Not the
Ну,
biggest
вон
I
комп.
ever
Я
thought
сейчас
of.
иду
You
прямо.
can't believe
Комп
that
Марихи,
coming
как
from an
микроволновка
old fisherman
выглядит.
like me, but she's right up there.
Где, блядь? А, вот. Ну почти.
Так, стой, я иду по сюжетке, а я хочу порыться здесь немножко.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss
О, опять
Weaver.
эта тетка из
Everything
этого,
seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent.
которая, типа, мне говорила, не иди в темноту, там опасно.
Will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
I'll be
Кстати,
sure to
удивительный
take care of
факт.
it, Miss
Сейчас
Weaver.
день.
Have a nice day
А,
now.
вот кофе.
Very good. I'll come back.
Но это
later
ненадолго.
on to
А,
remind
хотя
you,
нет.
just in
Ты
case.
прикинь, я даже на улицу выйду сейчас в день, а не в ночь, как это
Mr.
обычно
Wake?
происходит.
The sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
О, читать. Разыскивается мужчина по праву без вести. Отличительные признаки мастер побеждать в состязаниях. 20.06.2007 года. Прикинь, до 21 года так и не
Come
нашли
in,
чувачка.
Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The
Нормально.
battery was dead. It's charged
Тоже
now.
скрил.
О, опять твой ноутбук стоит. О, взять сотовый телефон.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National
Mr. Wake,
Park.
can I help
There's a
you with
spot called
anything?
Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor.
on! The deputy... Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Сейчас, как обычно, пнуть. О, рукопись. Опа.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak. The waterfall. Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week. You and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off. God knows I need my...
А, кстати, ты сегодня рассказывал, что обменял свою
Да,
маленькую
ты говорил,
парилку на почти два.
говорил.
А, окей.
Ты говорил, когда мы еще до того, как я в больничку ушел, в Дискорде сидели.
Понял.
А, вот где я рукопись пропустил.
Память.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light.
Бля, ну, короче, через F5 выходить, я через escape по привычке выхожу. Пиздец. О, чувак уже откис.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regret.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh my! Take it easy.
Nobody move! Get your hands off my
Без насилия изменить.
Знаешь, это из приколов, когда твой друг смотрит стрим с задержкой.
Да не, я просто... Меня, короче, пропедговал.
Ладно, на самом деле, когда задержка еще свою, там типа чуть-чуть назад откидываешь стрим, наоборот, качество получше становится.
My offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Я не помню, что сейчас.
I had to
типа
talk to
уже
someone.
вечер.
I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him.
Справа
The
гори,
fact that I
слева
witnessed
гори,
something,
а
even if I
вдали
couldn't remember
Кавказ.
it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Чё не с мимикой?
Ну, это консольный.
Max.
2010 года. Тогда мимику
What
особо
an
не
airhead.
пилили. Это не
Jeez,
мафия.
Mr. Takes a swing at everybody.
Так, ну,
This
что
is
ж,
not her
сразу
fault.
пылесосим все.
She's a
Ну,
very
кстати, она
nice
похожа на
girl
мафию,
and,
если
more
будем смотреть.
importantly, a
Ну
fan.
да, есть
She
что-то
even has a
такое.
fan site dedicated to you.
Слава богу, здесь мимику решили не делать. Так, это закрыто. Закрыто.
And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously,
А,
Al.
вот.
What you
Я
were
только
saying in the
хотел
car,
Какой-то медведь.
just listen to yourself. What, you
Надо
shot
мной
a
все
guy
такого хочу.
and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week. And someone's got Alice. And everything's just...
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Причем, знаешь, даже не приглушается
You
звук.
rent cabins. Oh, Mr. Wake, I'd shake your hand,
Чё не
but
с
mine are
глазами?
kind of full here.
Чё не с
Actually,
головами?
I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the
Прости.
registration form from the desk? It's just across from
Um,
Tooth Charlie.
Okay,
sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot
Чё
caught
тут
in the
похоже
trap.
делать?
They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay.
Забавно смотреть, когда тебе остается 818 дней до того, как ты накопишь видеокарту. А ты старый код день сейчас накопишь.
А?
Когда старый день сейчас накопишь.
Скорее всего, брат ее заберет. Либо продам.
You're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Помню, как-то раз ты меня братом назвал.
Just go and meet a kidnapper.
Брат.
Those situations always end up in
Не брат ты
disaster.
мне больше.
Wait here.
А, кстати, а можно две видеокарты поставить?
Конечно, можно.
And here are
Значит,
the
да.
keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr.
Одинаково.
Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Две одинаковые карты.
Can you tell me how to get to
Должны
Lover's
быть
Peak?
одинаковые, но модель.
Oh, sure.
It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the path. You'll get to it eventually.
She's my
Так,
wife, and it's
интересно
my
здесь.
call.
А какой ты хочешь видеокарту здесь?
1660 супер.
No,
М.
this whole thing.
Течка.
Listen,
Еще 20 копий возьмешь себе 3080. Так, как-нибудь.
you gotta understand how
У
crazy
меня не
all
такой
this
мощный
sounds.
процессор, чтобы
If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me
Какой
out.
процессор?
It's working.
Нахера у меня нормальный процессор, которого
Well,
хватает
you
по
had me
городу.
going there real
Понимаешь, я когда
funny,
играю
Al.
в
You can...
Rust, у меня, короче, процессор на 20% загружен, видюха на 90%. Мне надо видюху.
Ты хочешь взять новую видеокарту?
Да, хочу видюху мощную.
Al? We
Плюс
should
у меня
go to
сейчас
the
два
sheriff
моника
or call the
на
FBI.
одну
Damn it,
видюху,
Barry,
тоже
they'll
нагрузка
kill her.
неплохая.
This is not a
Не было
goddamn
мне
debate,
1050 Ti, я бы...
I'm
Мне
going
в
to
нашу жизнь
Lover's
хватило
He
ее.
said to come alone.
Okay,
Ну, она уже
okay.
скоро не актуальна станет. Она уже, в принципе, не актуальна даже для Full HD.
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're
Сейчас
not right in
минималка
the
считается 1650.
Tell me what to do
Ну
to
это лучше,
help,
чем
and I'll
какие-нибудь
do it.
там
You stay
видеокарты
here,
на 2
and if I'm
гига
not back by morning, call the
GDDR
cavalry.
5 памяти. Ой, блин, GDD3.
Не, ну есть там 9 серия. Там есть видюхи помощнее даже. Но они
Just
стоят
be
примерно
careful
столько
with
же.
the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody
Так.
hates a tourist. Or it'll be deliverance
Выжигать
all over
можно
again.
Будь здоров.
Bless you.
Выжигатель мозгов.
А, ошибись, свет вообще не изменить. Так, сразу сейчас по шустрику пробежаться. Кофеек найти. Вот эту дверь не открыть, как обычно.
А что вы если все кофе соберешь?
О.
Тебе ачивка какую-то?
Да это как пасхалка же. Вообще, как написано на сайте игры, когда он только вышел, типа, чем больше кофе собираю, тем меньше врагов у меня будет. Ну, в плане за вот эти херы спавнится. Ну как бы хер его знает. Блин, знаешь, самое главное, в тексте, когда ему звонили, пик влюбленных назвали, а здесь не перевели его как пик влюбленных. Все так же Lovers Peak. Нахера тогда перевод делать? Либо они жопы ленивые. Вот что в колодце есть? Какой глубокий колодец.
А, колодец. Я послушал другую.
Что тебе послушалось? Колодец?
Колодцы.
Что есть в колодце? О, револьвер появился. О. А я машине могу поехать? FBI. Опа-на.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he...
Так, а я где-то страницу просрал.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Ладно, не буду играть.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it.
О,
These
я вижу
people
страницу
called me
отсюда,
right in the
кстати.
sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Вылезь. Может здесь где страница? Конечно. Машина разбитая, понимаю. По-моему, я сюда не должен был выйти. Но это только по-моему. Мне здесь нравится.
Долбись в задницу.
Ой, как нравится. О, ты, кстати, не увидел. Или ты был, когда он Настю нам показывал? Ты был или нет тогда?
Когда?
Когда дьявол Настю показывал.
Да, был. За сколько? За 150 рублей.
За бесплатно.
А, ты бы ничего не отправил такое?
На мне, куда я ему что отправил? У меня нет никаких реквизитов. Я бы ей скинул сотку. Ну, правда, с бомбером, но все же. Так, ладно.
Короче, отойду ненадолго.
Да,
Опять.
давай.
Надеюсь.
FDS просто замьють. потом это, потому что у меня из
Нет, это другую конфу.
окей, все. Это тогда в ВК мне напиши, как
Ну окей, окей.
Потому что у
А
меня
ты чё,
просто...
на паузу что ли поставишь?
Нет, у меня просто, когда ОБС включена, у меня режим стримера включается в Дискорде.
Понял, понял.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me! Anybody? Help me! Help me!
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and the ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in.
Hello? Back here! I'm back here! Hey, please help me!
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy. The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Just need hunting licenses.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals. Obey the Park Ranger's instructions at all times. Fishing. Rusty, no. For those prisoners who purchase a park fishing license, never. No approach closer than 100 yards. To bears and wolves, never approach any other wildlife closer.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it. In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting. Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail. Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason, packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo, things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. We gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
You can see them too?
Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on her. It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper. Come on, Wake! You better keep up. You set him up, and I'll knock him down. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it! A little longer! Scare them off! Get some light on those bastards! That'll keep them off us! Just a little longer, I almost got it! Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it. Are you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon. This is it, Wake. The last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her up. No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, he had Alice. And he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move. The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here. It was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine. logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a...
Ну, зашел.
Ты что-то видел, блядь?
Чем?
Ты что-то видел?
В плане видел.
Ну, посмотри.
Уведомление имеешь в виду? А,
Не,
чат?
ну просто
А,
в чат
чат,
посмотри.
чат.
На
Всё, понял.
стабе.
Я думал, чат видел. Да, чат я видел, я ответил уже.
А.
Я с ним вроде как поздоровался. По крайней мере, я сказал, я не знаю, слышно это было или нет.
Что-то скоро там?
У меня, ну, короче, одну страницу где-то просрал, у меня осталось раз, два, три, четыре, пять, 6 страниц. 5 страниц.
When Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed.
Фальшфейер, что это вы?
Это, знаешь, фаеры,
А, да.
которые там, типа, вырываешь и фальшивый огонь идет. Вот,
Понял.
типа, здесь заюзано все, что может только дать тебе свет. Полетела ворона.
Золотая, судя по всему.
Да, если испарилась, то это золотая 100%. Я постоянно в золотую промахиваюсь. У меня фиолетовый залетает все, а в золотую ничего. О, сейчас будет чувак с бензопилой рядом.
Бля, такую ебанскую жижу залил, это пиздец, блядь. Она просто приторная, блядь.
Че залил?
Карамель, ой, ванильный табак. Бруска.
Не знаю, мне всегда нравилась кола с вами.
Это бруска?
Нет, мне не бруска было. У меня была кола с вами. Вообще прям по кайфу было. Прыжок. Осталось 4 страницы. Не, может, конечно, и 5.
Shadows stirred and the wind picked up as I ran through the forest. I felt the dark presence turning its gaze toward me.
В смысле, за как ты будешь проходить, если ты последний потерял? Ну и последний потерял какой-то.
Но они не влияют на прохождение.
А, понял.
Они просто, типа, которые вот так вот заныканы, они обычно рассказывают, что будет дальше.
Ну как, короче, после этого эпизода Форд?
Да, я Форд сразу пойду.
Окей. Нас сам Илюха ждет.
Окей.
Fortnite.
Я понял. Чё за
А, окей,
Darkness
блядь, ну спросил где.
А, носит её лицо. Так, плюшки никого не нет. Ладно. Пошли. Я охотничье ружье тут нашел. Бля, консольное управление, как ты меня бесишь.
Связь, честно.
Ну, здесь под стики сделано управление, а не под клавиатуру с мышкой. Сейчас будет чувак с бензопилой.
Ну сколько примерно до конца осталось?
Смотря насколько быстро всех этих типов заводу, и не буду я умирать.
Не, ну примерно сколько.
Ой, понесу, думаю, что-то хорошо. Почти уже все. Чуть-чуть полез. А, вот чел сейчас будет использовать. Я появился красиво, что скажешь. Киснешь еще красиво. Прям что
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you...
Сейчас приду.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods. The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it. But it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way...
Я тут.
Это патрон для охотничьего ружья нашел уже.
Нормально.
Так, ну что, на машинке еще покатаюсь, по-моему, там с челикой и все. Челепинтриком. Интересно, кто машину в гараже с незаглушенным движком стоит?
Девки какие-нибудь.
А выйти могу, да, я в любом моду? Точно сейчас.
Ты хотел сказать, вылететь? Вылететь могу.
Нет, у тебя здесь же можно сейчас знать. Стоп.
Ну ты в жизни. Это не можешь дали врубить, чтобы не горели быстрее. А, да, ну все-таки можно дали врубить.
Я вот за той штучкой хочу. Просто помню, что здесь эта штучка лежит. Ну, я походу просрал 3 даже страницы. Вот это последний.
О?
Cauldron Lake was where
В этой
Alice and
главе
I
это
had
последний.
stayed, but there was no cabin and no island. I was missing a week. What had happened to me? What had happened?
Думаю, сейчас чувачки тут. Сцен. Капот оторвались. О, как в Fortnite на ручнике. Что я уперся? Какое совпадение? Трейлер решил перекрыть мне дорогу. Где? О, тут машина хорошая машина. Мне нравится.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Машину я обожаю. Почему всегда сзади? Почему я еще не попал?
Эпично.
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
It's not done.
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
Где повезло? Опять плюшки приятно лежат.
Al, I am so glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I blocked the chimney.
Ебать там ворон, блядь.
Ага, я сейчас такой будет.
Как мухин говно, блядь.
Ну да, примерно. О, что нужно? Удалить птиц. Сюда надо полетели. А, ушли. Первые отдыхают. Откуда? Я вышел.
Barry, you can open the door now. They're gone.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try
А,
to
это
write
типа
it
катсцена,
when
да?
Barry was back.
А, это конец эпизода.
Я бесит в конце эпизода ставлю музыку, у него авторское право.
For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for
Ну,
me,
сделал как
and
Винди.
I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Знаешь как?
Чем? Сделал как чем?
Ну, как Виндяй, знаешь, какой канал?
Да, да, знаю.
Когда обычно авторское право, музыка с авторским правом, ну, петь начинаешь перебить.
Do you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour. See you soon.
Have a great day.
Нормально он без руководит, конечно, он даже.
Welcome.
Дверки заняты был, он даже дорогу перед очень тронул.
Пара-па-па.
Союз. Пара-па-пара. А это авторский прав, да?
Да,
Ба-пара-пара-па-па.
Сейчас можно музычку послушать. Ночь свободно. О, кстати, вот этот эпизод в 2 раза длиннее прошлого, даже в 3.
Ну, го Fortnite тогда.
Конец эпизода 2. Че, пойдем?
Окей.
Сейчас это закончится, заставка конец эпизода. А, ну, так.
8 лайков, чел.
А?
При том, что у тебя
Чё
10
себе говоришь?
подписчиков.